Welcome to Speak English Podcast, the place where you improve your English fluency in a fun and engaging way. I'm David.
And I'm Sarah. In today's episode, we're diving into a powerful topic: how to master English by practicing alone.
Many learners struggle with fluency because they don't have someone to practice with. But the truth is, you can make significant progress on your own.
That's right. Today, we'll share practical tips, effective exercises, and a simple routine to help you improve your English every day without needing a speaking partner.
So, if you're serious about taking your English to the next level, stay with us. And don't forget to like this episode and subscribe for more helpful content.
All right, let's get started.
Learning English alone might seem difficult, but it's actually a great way to build confidence and fluency.
Exactly. When you practice alone, you control the pace and focus on what you need the most.
One of the best ways to start is by thinking in English. Instead of translating, try forming sentences directly in your mind.
Yes. For example, describe what you're doing. I'm making coffee. I'm going to work. Or I need to buy groceries.
This simple habit will help you get comfortable with English and reduce hesitation when speaking.
And the best part? You can do this anytime, anywhere, while walking, cooking, or even before bed.
Another great method is speaking out loud, even if you're alone. Just hearing yourself speak makes a huge difference.
That's right. Try explaining your daily routine out loud as if you were talking to a friend.
You can even record yourself and listen back to identify areas for improvement.
Don't worry about making mistakes. Fluency comes from practice, not perfection.
And if you're feeling stuck, ask yourself questions in English. What do I need to do today? Or, how was my day?
Then, try answering them naturally without overthinking. This will help you develop spontaneous speech.
The more you do it, the easier it gets. With daily practice, your brain will start thinking in English automatically.
So, let's make this a habit. Start talking to yourself in English today, and you'll see the progress in no time.
Another great way to practice English alone is by reading out loud. It improves pronunciation and fluency.
Absolutely. You can read books, articles, or even subtitles from your favorite TV shows.
Try choosing materials that match your level so you can understand and enjoy what you're reading.
And don't just read. Imitate native speakers. Listen to audiobooks or podcasts and repeat what you hear.
This technique, called shadowing, helps you match the rhythm and intonation of natural speech.
Exactly. Pick a short sentence, listen carefully, then repeat it while trying to copy the speaker's tone.
Start with slow speech, then gradually increase your speed as you get more comfortable.
And if a word is difficult to pronounce, break it down into smaller parts and practice each syllable.
You can even use a mirror to check your mouth movements while speaking.
That's a great idea. It helps you see how native speakers shape their words.
Also, try writing down difficult words and saying them repeatedly to reinforce memory.
And don't forget to record yourself sometimes. It's a great way to track your progress over time.
The key is consistency. Reading and repeating daily will make a big difference in your fluency.
So grab a book, pick a podcast, and start reading out loud today. You'll be amazed at how much you improve.
Another excellent way to improve your English skills when practicing alone is by keeping a daily speaking journal. This means setting aside a few minutes every day to talk about your experiences, your thoughts, or even your plans for the future in English. It helps you organize your ideas, improve fluency, and gain confidence in expressing yourself without hesitation.
That's such a valuable practice. One of the best parts of a speaking journal is that it allows you to get comfortable with forming sentences naturally. You don't need to worry about making mistakes because no one is listening. The goal is simply to get used to thinking in English and turning your thoughts into spoken words as smoothly as possible.
Exactly. You can choose a topic each day, like what you did yesterday, your goals for the week, or even a book you're reading. It doesn't have to be complicated, just make sure you speak continuously for at least 2 or 3 minutes. If you find yourself struggling, try writing down a few keywords before you start speaking to help guide your thoughts.
A great way to make this practice even more effective is by recording yourself while you speak. When you listen to the recording later, you can analyze your pronunciation, notice repeated mistakes, and identify areas where you need improvement. Over time, you'll hear clear progress, which can be really encouraging and motivating.
That's a fantastic idea. Many language learners feel nervous when speaking English, but this method helps build confidence in a private and stress-free way. You don't have to worry about judgment or pressure. You can experiment with different sentence structures, expressions, and tones until you feel more comfortable.
Absolutely. If you want to challenge yourself even more, try summarizing a short article or a news story in your own words. Read a short piece, put it away, and then try to explain what you just read. This forces you to think actively in English and strengthens your ability to recall and structure ideas without translating in your head.
Another technique that works really well is pretending to have a conversation with someone. Imagine you're talking to a friend, a coworker, or even a famous person. Ask yourself questions and respond as if you were in a real discussion. This keeps your practice interactive and dynamic.
That's a fun exercise. And if you want to push yourself even further, try practicing different tones and emotions while speaking. Pretend you're excited, surprised, or even frustrated, and express that in your speech. This helps you sound more natural and develop a greater range of expression.
Also, don't be afraid to repeat the same exercise multiple times. Sometimes, when we speak about the same topic over and over, we notice improvements in fluency and confidence. Try saying the same thing 3 times, and you'll be surprised at how much smoother it gets each time.
That's a great point. And if you ever feel stuck, you can always use a text prompt to guide you. Write down a few key sentences and expand on them as you speak. This prevents awkward pauses and helps you stay focused on the topic.
Another useful idea is to describe what's happening around you. Wherever you are, look around and talk about what you see, hear, or feel in English. It's a simple but effective way to train your brain to think in English in real-time situations.
And remember, perfection is not the goal. When practicing alone, the key is consistency and progress, not flawless grammar or pronunciation. Every time you speak, you're improving, even if you make mistakes. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel.
That's right. Learning a language is about being comfortable with imperfection. Even native speakers make mistakes sometimes. What matters most is being able to communicate your thoughts clearly and naturally. So, just keep speaking, keep practicing, and trust the process.
Exactly. And the best part is, the more you practice, the more confident you become. Over time, you'll notice that speaking English feels easier and more natural. Just stick with it, and you'll see real progress.
Another powerful technique to improve your English while practicing alone is shadowing. This means listening to a native speaker and repeating what they say as quickly and accurately as possible. It helps you improve your pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation naturally, without needing to think too much about grammar.
That's a great exercise. The key to effective shadowing is choosing the right material. You want something that's not too fast and not too slow. Podcasts, audiobooks, and interviews with clear pronunciation are excellent choices. Start with short sentences and gradually work your way up to longer ones.
Exactly. And don't worry if you can't keep up at first. It's completely normal. The goal is to train your mouth and ears to work together. Start by listening to a sentence, pause, and repeat it. Then, as you get better, try speaking along with the audio without pausing.
And if you want to step up the challenge, try imitating not just the words, but also the tone, emotion, and emphasis of the speaker. Pay attention to how they stress certain words and how their voice rises and falls naturally. This will help you sound much more like a native speaker.
That's a great tip. Also, try using subtitles at first if you're struggling. Read along while you shadow, then slowly reduce your dependence on the text. Over time, your listening skills will improve, and you'll be able to shadow without needing subtitles.
Another trick is to record yourself while shadowing. Compare your pronunciation with the original speaker and listen for differences. This will help you identify areas where you can improve, like certain sounds that might be difficult for you to pronounce correctly.
And don't be afraid to repeat the same sentence multiple times until you get it right. Repetition is the key to building fluency. The more you repeat a sentence, the more natural it will feel. And soon, you'll notice that your speaking speed increases effortlessly.
That's so true. Many learners feel frustrated when they can't speak as fast as native speakers, but shadowing is one of the best ways to close that gap. It forces you to process and produce language at the same time, which is exactly what happens in real conversations.
And remember, shadowing doesn't just improve pronunciation, it also boosts your listening skills. Since you have to focus on every word, you train your brain to recognize sounds and speech patterns much faster. This makes understanding native speakers easier over time.
Another cool way to practice is by shadowing different accents. Try British English, American English, or even Australian English to get used to different ways of speaking. This will make you more adaptable and confident in different listening situations.
That's a fantastic idea. And for those who feel self-conscious about speaking out loud, try whispering while shadowing. This reduces the pressure while still training your mouth and tongue to move in the correct way.
Oh, that's interesting. And let's not forget about shadowing with music. Singing along to English songs can help with pronunciation and rhythm while making practice more fun. Plus, it's a great way to memorize common phrases naturally.
Absolutely. And the best part about shadowing is that it doesn't take much time. Just 5 to 10 minutes a day can make a huge difference in your fluency. The key is to be consistent and push yourself a little more each time.
Exactly. Shadowing might feel difficult at first, but if you stick with it, you'll see progress much faster than you expect. Keep practicing, stay patient, and soon, speaking English will feel much more natural.
Now, let's talk about another important aspect of practicing alone: building confidence in your speaking ability. Many learners struggle with self-doubt and hesitate to speak because they're afraid of making mistakes. But the truth is, mistakes are a natural part of the learning process.
That's right. One of the best ways to overcome this fear is by talking to yourself in English. It might feel strange at first, but it's a great way to practice without any pressure. You can describe what you're doing, talk about your plans for the day, or even have imaginary conversations.
Yes! And another technique that works really well is recording yourself. When you listen to your own voice, you'll start noticing patterns, pronunciation mistakes, and areas where you can improve. Over time, this helps you feel more comfortable speaking out loud.
Absolutely. And if you want to make it even more engaging, try role-playing different situations. Imagine you're ordering food at a restaurant, checking into a hotel, or having a job interview. Acting out these scenarios will help you prepare for real-life conversations.
That's a great idea. Another thing that helps is reading out loud. Find a book, an article, or even the subtitles of a TV show and read them aloud. This improves your pronunciation, fluency, and confidence at the same time.
And don't forget about mirror practice. Stand in front of a mirror and speak in English. This helps you see your facial expressions, mouth movements, and body language, which are all important for natural communication.
Yes. And if you feel nervous about speaking, try using positive affirmations. Instead of saying, "I'm bad at English," tell yourself, "I'm improving every day." Changing your mindset can make a huge difference in your confidence level.
That's so true. And one more thing. Don't compare yourself to others. Everyone learns at their own pace. Focus on your progress, celebrate small wins, and remember that every step forward is an achievement.
Exactly. Confidence comes from taking action, not waiting until you feel ready. The more you practice speaking, the easier it becomes. So, Start today, even if it's just for a few minutes.
And don't be afraid to talk to native speakers when you get the chance. Even if it's just a short conversation, it will help you build confidence and improve your real-world speaking skills.
Yes, and if you don't have native speakers around, you can still practice by using language exchange apps or joining online communities where people are learning English. There are so many ways to practice.
Absolutely. The most important thing is to stay consistent. Confidence doesn't happen overnight, but if you keep practicing, you'll notice yourself feeling more and more comfortable speaking English.
That's right. So don't wait. Start using these techniques today, and you'll be amazed at how much your confidence grows.
Exactly. You have everything you need to succeed. Just take one step at a time, and soon, speaking English will feel natural and effortless.
Well, we've reached the end of today's episode, and I hope you found the tips and advice useful for improving your English. Remember, learning a language is a gradual process, and every small step counts.
Exactly, David. The key is to stay consistent and keep practicing, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. The more you practice, the better you'll become.
And don't forget, everyone has their own learning pace. There's no rush to be perfect right away. Just enjoy the process and celebrate the progress, no matter how small it may seem.
That's right. It's about building a habit and making English part of your daily life. The more you expose yourself to the language, the more natural it will feel.
If you've found this episode helpful, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the Speak English podcast. Your support means a lot to us and helps us bring more useful content to you.
Absolutely. And if you have any questions or suggestions for future episodes, feel free to reach out to us. We love hearing from you and are always happy to help.
Yes, please leave your thoughts and feedback in the comments. It helps us make the podcast even better and ensures we're covering topics that matter to you.
We're excited to continue this learning journey together. So keep practicing and don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's all part of improving your English.
Exactly. And remember, the more you practice, the more confident you'll become in your speaking and comprehension skills. It's all about perseverance.
Absolutely. Keep challenging yourself, stay motivated, and never stop learning. You're doing great, and we believe in you.
Thanks again for listening to today's episode. We're so happy to have you as part of the Speak English podcast community.
Yes, thank you so much. We hope you'll join us for our next episode. Until then, keep practicing, stay positive, and keep improving your English skills.
Take care, and we'll see you in the next episode.
See you soon. Keep up the great work with your English.